Squad Sports. I got here Dalton, myself. Man, we're here. Just really excited. Got a lot of blowouts to go over. Got all the playoffs to go through as well. Get our picks for the upcoming games. As with the holidays coming up, probably be our last stream until the new year around there. So happy holidays to everyone. But Dalton, ready to get into it?
Yeah, man. I'm ready for the preview. Really, and the review's gonna suck. Unfortunately, there's not much to talk about. I can't believe that all the games were close. Not close, man. Not one of them.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Like I said, I remember me and you were texting over the weekend how we were saying it's not a good look for the 12-team playoff. You're like, yeah, I know. I said the same thing. So I don't know. I don't know if it's bad for the 12 team. I just think they let the wrong teams in. Maybe.
Yeah, I get that.
Ole Miss
But
and
I mean,
Ole Miss
everybody's
and
been
Alabama would
complaining.
have made those games a lot better.
Ole Miss sitting lost to Kentucky, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they have three
I know.
losses. They shouldn't have lost to Florida at the end of the year. All they had to do was beat Florida.
Yeah, I know. But it's just hard because Notre Dame's rolling right now. Penn State's rolling. It's hard to really say one of them should be out. But with Indiana, they're looking worse by the day as them last few weeks kind of rolled in. I think everyone kind of caught on to them. Even though their record was good, but we'll see next year. Lane Kiffin was going crazy on Twitter all weekend saying, "Are you happy now? With what you did, talking about to the playoffs." But we'll see. We'll see. Do you think 12 teams bad or do you like 12 teams?
I like eight. I think after this
Yeah.
weekend, man, I think eight's the number because clearly the four teams that won were dominant, so they deserve to be in, right? I mean, you can't say those teams didn't
Yeah.
deserve it. So
Yep.
yeah, I think eight would have been perfect, man, and nobody needs a bye week, It's one versus
Yeah.
eight, 2-7, 3-6. That's what needs to happen, I think. But it could
Yeah.
just be a
Yeah.
fluke
No.
this year. Hopefully next year's better, man.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the G5 does next year and what they do with if they're going to do all these super conferences, but that remains to be seen. But we got got the scores here, but we got some high school news we'll get into for a second here. We got Mount Healthy's former coach here, Jordan Stevens. We covered Mount Healthy, throughout the season, was there on the field there and on scene with them. So shout out to Coach Stevens. He was actually hired as Colerain's head coach over the weekend. So shout out to him. And it's another program he's probably just going to build up, and we're excited to see and talk to him over the weekend. He said he's excited to have us down for a game this year.
Yeah, man. Congrats, congrats to him. Obviously, it's a step up if you left. So,
Yeah.
congrats, man. It's good to keep your career moving up, and you got to keep going up the ladder. So, it looks like a big step for him, man. And we've seen his team play, and they look good.
Yeah, multiple D1 guys, got FBS guys, FCS, and Max Preps had their, playoff bracket, the seventh hardest in the whole nation. So, and he was able to get a couple wins in the playoffs there. So, shout out to him, and excited to see what he's going to do in the future. But yeah, I got some recruiting news in the future. But let's go ahead and get into it, Dalton. Like we said, these blowouts here. I mean, as you can see, got pretty ugly here, and it could have been a whole lot uglier for a couple of these other ones, especially for the Notre Dame game. But overall thoughts, man. Like you said, we'll start with top left here, I guess. Ohio State and Tennessee. Everyone thought, Tennessee buying up all these seats, they were going to try to turn it to Knoxville orange, but it looks like Ohio State came improved.
Yeah. Darn,
Oh,
man.
wow.
Darn. I'm mad. Really sucks that this happened, man. Um,
Oh, I know. Yeah, you're real hurt because Florida should have beat Tennessee. So if Florida would have beat Tennessee when y'all should have, I don't need. They shouldn't even be in here. But we'll see.
Bama should have beat them too. They got two teams actually just like gave them games this year that they shouldn't have won. They're very lucky. Nico's just not that good, man.
He's not, man. He's gotten passed up, I think, by a lot of these guys, and I think he's going to definitely get passed up on this next freshman class because these next freshman classes got some guys. I think, man, Deuce Knight, and a couple of these other guys, Juju, and those guys are coming for him. I don't know. Like you said, I think you're right. He's just not that good. I know he got hurt in the game. His helmet got chipped off or whatever, but throughout the season, man, he just never. When the bright lights were on, he never just really had a good game.
No, he's not the reason they made the playoffs. It was their offense. It was their running back, and the running back had a great season. I mean, I can't argue that.
Crazy. He was
Dylan
off.
Sampson
I didn't
did.
know he was SEC Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he had like 22 touchdowns and like 1,500 yards. Yeah, he balled, man. He's gone though, so I don't know
Yeah.
how good they're going to be next year without him. It's hard to replace that guy, maybe. Their
Yeah.
defense was supposed to be so good too, and they had 16 yards in the first quarter though, man. That's on the script. The
Yeah.
script is supposed to be your best plays, though. You know what I mean? And so if you
Yeah.
can only get 16 yards in the script, a lot of that has to be on the coaching, I think.
It is, man. Like you said, it's about the Jimmies and Joes, but X's and O's also plays a part in that. And I could very well see the Florida Gators replacing, Tennessee in the playoffs next year as that third SEC team, second SEC team. However, it shakes out next year, we'll see. But
Oh,
yeah, Ohio State was able to get the dub. Ryan Day, a little of that chatter might be, simmering down a little bit. I guess I don't know. We'll see.
that's what Herb Street said. He was going off about people that were trying to fire Day. I seen that.
Oh,
So, but I said it before. I think it's been disrespectful today. He has like 6 losses at Ohio State. It's like
yeah,
6 years, in like 5 years or something.
yeah.
How long has he been there?
I think maybe 5 or 6 years, maybe like 6 year,
He has
maybe
like six
maybe
losses in
fifth.
6 years or something.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think he's ever won I think he's maybe only won one playoff game, like maybe
I don't know if he has. I
with
don't.
Stroud. But I think he won one game with Stroud.
He didn't make the championship, did he?
No, he didn't, but I think they won
Yes,
one.
he
I
didn't
don't
win
know.
a playoff.
Maybe he didn't. Yeah,
That means
he may has not won a playoff game.
he didn't want a playoff game until this is the first
Yeah.
one.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. So, and it had to be an expansion home game and their own back. I mean, I don't know. I think they could do a lot better, but that remains to be seen. We'll see if they can pull it out. I mean, they got guys transferring, they left, even in their own quarterback room already, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, man, it's been crazy. We'll see if they can get a dub against Oregon.
They
You
played.
picked Oregon national championship preseason. I picked Ohio State. So here we are. We're going to see which team can prevail, and I'm excited to see it. But another matchup we got is Arizona State versus Texas. Texas able to get the win there, 14-point win over Clemson. Dabo's run came to an end, which is pretty impressive there. That second half he's able to do. But what'd you think about Texas? Were you moved at all by the Longhorns?
Their run game looked great, man. I mean, they had 200-yard rushers. Clemson just got dominated up front, and they got some good guys up front. So, shout out to Texas O line for sure. Kevin Banks and company did a lot of work up there up front. Didn't matter which back was in the game; they just were getting easy yards. So Quinn Ewers
Yeah,
still not doing it that good to me. I don't think he didn't have a great game, but he didn't need to with the run game, and then the defense did enough until they had a big lead until they started letting them score. So Klubnik
yeah,
had a good game though, man. Klubnik next year, I like
yeah.
him.
He had those passing yards, 336.
I like him a lot next year. I think he's going to be one of the best in the nation.
Him next year, Aller next year. We have some guys that are coming back that we weren't really excited about. We're gonna see what Rayola can do next year.
Sam
Uh,
Levitt.
Levitt, we're gonna see what Malik Murphy can do. We got, he transferred to Oregon State. So man, we're gonna see a lot of guys that got new homes, and I'm excited for all these quarterback matchups. But yeah, even though he was the highest passer, it didn't really matter. A lot of these wins were Mahomes esque in a sense where you're not filling up the stat sheet, you're just getting wins. It's crazy. A lot of these quarterbacks, I don't think anybody else passed for over 250. So
Oh
Aller
yeah,
was on his mobility, but yeah, Texas got the two score there win. I could totally see them losing against Arizona State, though. We'll get into that in a second. I think that's going to be potentially the best game of the week. But all right, we'll keep it moving here. So Aller, man, what a beatdown they did against SMU. We were kind of on SMU early all year, me and you and Dalton. Uh, what'd you think, man? Are they just that good, or just SMU maybe just had their worst game of the year?
they're so bad at the start of games and big games. The first quarter, they just kill themselves, man. And
Yeah.
then Jennings 3 picks. Jennings didn't play good. He was in above his head. It looked like, and he had a great year. But wow, what a terrible
He's rattled.
performance.
He was
He lost.
rattled.
I mean, he essentially lost the game for his team by himself,
Yeah.
and that's never
Yeah, he
good,
took
you
him.
know.
He took him out of it early, and then the guy that got you in the hole is the same guy that has to bring you out. It's your quarterback. So they were talking about bringing, Stone maybe coming back in there and making the quarterback change. But yeah, you just have to go down firing with who you got there, I guess, and let him
I don't
go
know.
down with the ship. I mean,
I
it
think I
looked
might have put
bad.
Stone in. We know Stone's at least he had a great year last year. We know he's at least capable.
Yeah,
Jennings was
yeah,
just 3 picks in the first half. That last pick when they got the ball in the really short field, 30-yard line or something. Their
yeah,
defense
yeah,
stopped them. Their defense got a turnover on
yes.
downs. They got to score
Tyler
right
Warren
there.
too, man.
They got to score. Yeah, no, I was on him for early, man.
You were. I will give you your credit. You told me about Tyler Warren first. He's like a young Kelsey, like back in the day of when he was kind of on the come up. And
I don't
I don't
know.
know,
He's
man.
so much bigger
Whoever
too, though.
gets
He's
him,
260.
yeah, whoever gets him is gonna be.
You
getting
see,
a great. It's a
dude, when he
baller.
runs,
It's just a
he
baller.
just breaks so many tackles. You see, when he runs direct snaps, it's like I love watching that. He just breaks so many damn
Yeah.
tackles.
This is the most likable, Penn State team I've ever seen ever.
I
Like
like
no
him. I
doubt
like
about it.
Liam Clifford, because Sean Clifford's brother playing
Yeah.
slot. I like that too. So I like this. I like that. Yeah, and I like Kobe King. That's a good name.
They're
So,
good, man. They're good. Next year
but
they
Notre
could
Dame's gonna beat him.
maybe.
It don't matter.
Okay, okay, all right. I like that pick. I don't hate that. But all right. But as was going to Notre Dame, the Battle of Indiana, there was supposed to be heavy snow, which there was, but on the field it was actually not that bad condition. So, but they got a 27-17 win. It could have been a whole lot uglier, in my opinion. They outplayed them. Scoreboard, I don't know. You could probably add another 7 on there. But what'd you think, man? What'd you think about the Irish? Are they for real?
Oh, it was 27-3 with like 2 minutes left. So yeah, it
Yeah,
would definitely score wise like there was a way bigger blowout than the score says. So yeah,
yeah,
they let them. They were playing prevent, just made them drive 5 yard passes and stuff, which is smart. And that's smart play, smart coaching, and it worked out for them. Their run game's just so good, man. 98-yard touchdown run by Jeremiah Love, longest touchdown in college ball playoff history. So shout out to that.
yeah.
I
Jay
mean,
Love's nice, man.
yeah, Love's nice, and Jadarian Price is really good, man. I mean, they just got two of the best backs in the country, and their O line's really good. And they got a couple good receivers now. Faison's come on a lot lately, Jordan Faison. So I don't know, man. Riley Leonard's been playing mistake-free football since pretty much the Northern Illinois game. So this team's dangerous. Their defense is stacked.
Yeah. Yeah, they're for real. And I remember me and you mid-season back when they were like among the last I don't know 6 teams around there that were undefeated, and me and you picked them multiple weeks in a row of them losing a game and they didn't and they just wouldn't. They did, drop one, but I mean, man, they've really been shutting a lot of people up and been a really exciting brand of football. That's been really the knock on Penn State. They're boring, it's been just kind of bland. Their uniforms are bland. You know, I don't know, but this is a really likable team. This is the most likable Notre Dame team as well. So I mean, Notre Dame, shout out to them. I think these two teams, I wish they were on the opposite sides. Really, I wish that we could have a chance of them meeting up in the championship. That'd be real cool. But we'll go ahead and move forward, then, man. All these teams are advancing, and like we said, we'll
Indiana
go
was a
ahead and
joke
go.
too. Yeah, by the way,
So Indiana should they have been in? Would you have put them in if you were in the committee? Would you have been banging head the table saying no, no, no Hoosiers?
they suck.
I know. I
In
don't
my
like
opinion,
Rourke. I've
in my
never been on
opinion,
board with Rourke.
they suck, and that's not me being even exaggerating. I don't think they're a good
Yeah,
team at all. I think they beat up on bad teams. But good teams beat other good teams. And Cignetti's,
yeah.
I used to like him. He's a clown.
I know. I don't. I like Dillingham a whole lot more these days, man.
I
I
mean,
don't know what it is.
he said we don't just beat top 25 teams, we beat their ass or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
He's
he has 0 top 25 wins all year. So I mean, what a weird quote. And that's turned me off. I'm glad Florida don't need him anymore. I'm glad, everything's
yeah.
looking
Me
up.
too. Me too.
I'm glad
Me
everything's
too.
looking up because I'd be mad if this guy was our coach after that quote, man.
Me too.
Because we play if you're at Florida, you play our top 25 teams every week. So yeah, you say that.
Right.
Yeah, now you got even bigger target on your back. So I don't know
Yeah,
about.
every week. I mean, you better if you have to
Yeah,
pull out them kind of punchlines in the press conference in the Big Ten. Imagine what he would have had to stay relevant. When his team's getting beat by 21 every week in the SEC.
I mean, I hope they do good because I mean we live in Louisville and I don't have no problem with Indiana. It's close and they never played Florida and we don't play them, in anything. So no hate towards Indiana, but they're not good yet. And I don't think they're going to be as good as they're hoping like in the future because the James Madison guys are going to be gone eventually. That's why they're so good. I mean, he had like 30 or 20 or 30 of them follow him, right? Like half the team.
Yeah, bunch. Yeah, it's pretty much James Madison team.
Yeah, so he already knew these guys, and he had the system. They ran the system and stuff. Like, let's see how good he could recruit high school in the portal before we like crown
Yeah,
this guy, man. Like, that's all I'm
yeah.
saying. It was so like early. The flowers were given to him. They were like 6-0, and he was the best. They were the best team in like country to some people. Like it was wild.
It was
Whatever.
just because it was Indiana. We've never seen that before, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it now looking back at it, but I was on the train mid-season, man. You know it. I was on it. I liked him, and then I think his press conferences got a little but Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way at the end of the season. But yeah, they go down. We'll see what they do next season. We'll see if it's a Cinderella. I could very well see them, not in the playoff next year. So I'd
I
be
mean,
surprised if they were in there. So
I don't know if they don't know who their quarterback's going to be unless they're going to go with the backup.
I could see it. They'll probably go portal. I mean,
I
they'll
know,
probably go
but they're
portal.
running out already.
Yeah, I know, but then they'll have another window coming up, and Signetti, I'm sure he's got his eye on somebody, but we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, I know on this next matchup, I'm really excited about. We'll go ahead and get into our picks of our future games. I mean, here in a minute, but a couple other things we want to go for. I mean, another fun stat here: this blowouts, like we said, there was an outscore of 145 to 68 this week. It was pretty crazy. I mean, like we said, you're gonna people see hating on the 12 team slot. I just think they don't have the right teams in. We've seen blowouts before. We've seen TCU get stomped in the championship. So we're gonna.
19.2 points. That's an average of 19.2 points, bro.
I know. It's been crazy. And another thing, like I said, we have guys in Ohio State that are losing guys in their playoff. They're losing quarterbacks. We just had breaking news this week that Aaron Nolan, their quarterback, their hype quarterback coming into last year, has transferred to South Carolina. So Dalton, I know I'm really interested. You're an SEC guy. You're a Florida Gator fan, biggest one I know. What do you think? Are you all gonna? I mean, I don't get. I don't get how he's going to come here when they had Lenore Sellers have a pretty decent year this year.
Tara, like I said, I'm not going to hate on the kid. He probably got money, and I'm sure he talked to his
Yeah.
people about it, but I don't get it. I don't get it, man. He's not going to play unless this guy gets hurt. This guy's good. South Carolina almost made the playoffs. I mean, come on.
There's not like an ACC school you can't go to or like you know?
I mean, I don't get it, man. Like I said, but he probably got a bag for some reason. I guess South Carolina wanted to back up. Okay, I mean, he runs a lot. Sellers runs a lot, so
Yeah.
maybe they're worried about getting him hurt, and they got to get back up. I don't know, man, but it doesn't make sense from the kid's point of view. You want to get on the
No.
field, and this ain't the place to go.
No, it doesn't. Like you said, it kind of questions like where you're at with like what's important to you. Is it just the bag or
It's,
do you really want to get on the field?
it's the same thing with Florida, though. We got that starting quarterback from Charlotte.
Yeah. That's
He's
I
not
mean,
gonna.
yeah.
He's not gonna
I
start.
know. But that's from a different he's coming up to a conference.
He just
Aaron
wants to play in
Nolan's like
the
a
SEC, I guess.
5-star.
Yeah, he just wants to play in the
Aaron
SEC.
Nolan was a 5-star. I don't get it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like they have like crazy gear or something. You really want South Carolina gear that bad? I mean,
They're
I
Under
don't know.
Armour still, right? Like
Yeah. I think
the
they're moving
weakest
away.
brand.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, well, it
they're
don't
heading on
matter,
by
bro. I
Cole.
hope he works out for him, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. We'll see. Well, South Carolina's a real player. I'm a buyer on Lenore Sellers. I'm not a seller on him.
He's
I
a
am a
beast, man.
buyer. I
Him,
like Lenore Sellers.
him and
I think he'll
Lagway,
be the starter.
duking it out next year for the best quarterback in the SEC. I think.
Mm, okay. I like
Early
that. I don't think that's a
predictions,
hot
but
take. I don't think that's a hot take, man. We're gonna see what a lot of teams do, but man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you all do. Actually, man, I like Lagway. Napier's got a lot of guys. Every time you look at your phone, Florida's got a 4-star, a 5-star, flipping, committing.
Friday,
Just
man. Shout out Dallas.
visiting.
Shout out Dallas
You-
Wilson, bro. Number 2 receiver in the class. Got him to flip from Oregon Friday. He was at the basketball game Saturday. In attendance at the game, signed the next day. So it's great to have him. Then we got J. Michael Sturdivant, UCLA in the portal, and
Yeah,
he's a dog.
he's good.
Great jump ball receiver, 6'4", go up and get it. And Lagway throws a great deep ball. So I think our receiver room's deep, and our running back room is deep, and our quarterback room is deep. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you know what I mean? All our skill positions are
yeah.
deep, and that's huge. Depth is huge in college football because, the portal, they can leave. They can still leave the other, the next opening. So it's good to have depth, and we have depth at every position. So that's huge, and that's why you give coaches more time than you should maybe sometimes. Like
I believe it. That with players sometimes too. I mean, Sam Darnold's over here making teams look crazy. I think the Jets owe or Zach Wilson an apology.
mm,
I think there's a couple of quarterbacks out here, man, that get shipped off too early, as well as coaches that premature. So I
yeah,
agree.
definitely,
I
man.
agree.
Coaches, especially in the NFL and big time programs, sometimes they don't get enough time. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I was one of the people. I'm just very emotional with my team, though. That's why I was saying that. I didn't really want them gone, man. I like because I like them. I like the
Yeah,
guy.
you did. You wanted him gone. You shouldn't be mad at. You shouldn't have
After the
any regret.
Miami game, I
He
probably did.
wasn't ready.
After the
Yeah,
first game of
was
the
it?
year, I probably wanted him gone. Yeah,
You wanted him gone around like
A&M game.
around Tennessee. Yeah, A&M
Oh,
Tennessee.
because we should have beat Tennessee, and it was his fault. Yeah. And then, one of the things though, he has to hire an OC. That was one of the conditions. So that's going to be good to have
Yeah,
OC
okay.
next year. He's not that
Yeah.
good of a play caller. He's so new play caller. That's going to be great.
Yeah, maybe you get a guy who is a former head coach or something, but we'll see, man. I won't be surprised if you all are amongst these field here next year in the playoffs. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got Ohio State and Oregon. Both of our picks, one of our picks are going to die this week. Man, I was very dead in the water on Ohio State coming in, but now after that performance, I know Tennessee's not good. We've established that, but man, we're going to really see this week against the Ducks. What do you think? What do you think the score is going to be? Is it going to be a blowout or? I mean, it's a rematch here. So, what do you think, Adult? I know you're going to go Ducks here, but why are you going to go Ducks?
They're so consistent across the board, man. They got talent at every position. I mean, Ohio State does too. Don't get me wrong, but I think Dan Lanning's a better coach than Ryan Day for one.
Hell
They
yeah.
beat them once, and I know they only won by one, but they left a lot of points on the board out there, and they don't usually do that. So I love their team, man. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball. Jordan James is a great running back. Dylan Gabriel, you know what you're getting from him. Second
Yeah.
in the nation in passing accuracy, 74% or something. 73 something. He was behind Shadur
Yeah.
only,
He doesn't turn the ball over either, you know?
and then their defense is really underrated this year. They carried them in a lot of games. That Wisconsin game, the offense couldn't get going at all. And their special teams, they won them in the game too this year against Boise. 2 return touchdowns in one game against Boise, or they would have lost to Boise.
Yeah.
So they got all 3 phases down. Like if one of them's down that day, one of them will pick them up, man, and that's
Yeah.
huge. I don't think Ohio State has that. You've seen they lost to Michigan. Their offense played bad. The special teams didn't pick them up. They didn't make a big play, and the defense didn't make enough either. Oregon, they didn't done that all year. They're the only undefeated team in the country, man.
Yeah.
That's the end of the day. If you ain't lost yet, it's hard to pick against you this late in the year.
Yeah. First year in the Big Ten. I think one thing that a lot of people kind of forget about Oregon is they come out the second half balling every time. They are a great second half team if they're even a little bit chippy in the first half. They really know how to come out and handle business second half. I love Dan Lanning. Ohio State has to be piping red, smoking hot to win. I think in big games and with the inferior coach and in some ways inferior talent, especially at the quarterback position. I just think Oregon's going to come away with it. I'll be very surprised if the Buckeyes come with a win here, and we'll see what they do at the end of the season, man. But Oregon could just steamroll this whole thing. First year of the Big Ten, Dan Lanning just looking like a straight pimp, you know?
I mean, I think they run the table. What are they
Yeah,
gonna? What does that mean? 13, 14? They have to go 16-0.
yeah. This will be the first 16-0 team. Yep, first 16-0.
Wow,
Yep.
that's crazy, but they got the talent, man. Like I said, they're great corners, great D tackles,
Yeah,
good D ends. Every position's good, man. The receivers are great. I don't
yeah.
think
It just feels like if you're
they can cover them.
I agree. I agree. And it just feels like if you're to beat Oregon Ducks, something catastrophic has to happen on their end. You know, that's
I
just the way it
mean,
feels.
yeah, they need like Gabriel needs to like twist an ankle or I think
Just
something like that.
crazy picks. He needs to have a Jennings game. He needs to have a
I don't
Jennings SMU game
know if he's ever
where
had
it's
one his
all
whole
like three
career though.
picks. Yeah, he's not going to do it. So
Like I don't
I
like
got
him.
Oregon.
I don't like him that much. I know you don't either, just because he's older. We don't like the older quarterbacks. 6 years or whatever in college. We don't like that. But his stats, I mean, he's going to end up going down as one of the best college quarterbacks ever statistically. So you got to give him his flowers, man. And it would be a good story for him to go out as a champ and really cement his status, man. He'd be a legend. Honestly, it's great. I mean, it ain't like you don't compare. Like it sounds crazy to compare his career to Tebow or something because you don't have the Heisman, but if he wins a title and the stats he puts
Yeah,
up, man, you got
yeah.
no.
I mean, Mariota had the Heisman, but didn't get the national championship. So it's if he's able to get something done that no one has there in an Oregon jersey, then that's he's already going to be in submitted in legacy forever. But we'll see. I'm glad they didn't drape him in awards, so they're making him earn the most important award. Like you said, being in the college for so long. So, but I'm glad he was at the ceremony for the Heisman. So I'm on the same boat with you, man. I do think my pick's going to die here. I got Oregon as well, so we're going to go ahead and move on to a very interesting game, which is Quinn Ewers here versus the Sun Devils here. Sarkeesian versus Dillingham. Cinderella story, if you will, here with Arizona State. Picked to be last in their conference there, in the Big 12. But man, they're standing tall and they're playing ball. So, what do you think here, Dalton? Do you think they can come up with the upset against the Steers?
Man, I think they can. Yeah. I just it's hard to run the ball against Texas. And that's the strength of Arizona State. So I don't know, man. Clemson had 76 rushing yards the whole game on 24 carries, and a lot of that was off a receiver like jet sweeps. And Adam Randall, he's a receiver. He had 4 carries, 44 yards. Our running backs had, I mean, they didn't give a lot of carries. They were playing from behind, but still, man, it's hard to
Yeah,
run on this team all year. They're one of the best one of the best passing defenses in the country too. That was only the first game all year. They gave up 300 yards, I think, or 350,
yeah,
something crazy. Like their defense is so
yeah,
good, and
338 just for Klubnik. So
I'm not hating on the Big 12 when I say this. I'll try not to, but it's kind of more a mid-major. It's closer to a mid-major conference than the SEC.
the top three teams are solid, but the rest are not good. So
I
I will
mean,
say
I like Colorado. I jumped.
Colorado could be very well in this playoff.
What I was gonna say is I jumped on the bandwagon, but you see what happened when they played Big Ten Nebraska. They got stomped.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying
It's a rivalry game. I get it, but
it
I
happened.
will tell you right now, they weren't. They would have put more than 10 points up against Penn State. I am pretty confident that they would have been at least put 17 or more against Notre Dame, and that's just what I think. That's what I think.
No, it's fair. They got one of the best players in the country, so I think
Who's
Steve
the
does
best
his
player?
best.
They got the Heisman.
You see, Chatibu's like the first guy since Christian McCaffrey to have 1,500 rushing and 450 receiving
I
in a
like
year,
him.
bro.
I
Like
like him.
McCaffrey, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a great receiver, great runner. I like him a lot, but he's just gonna have to do so much heavy lifting. I think their DBs could just man up on him. I think without Jordan Tyson out there, I don't think they have a real huge threat to really beat you.
So Tyson's out, right?
Yeah, he had surgery, so
Oh man,
that's a huge
we
loss. I
lost
know
good
last game,
Tyson,
but
man. T's and P's.
Texas is way better than Iowa State, though. Like that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if the Steers win it here with UT. I really wouldn't. They're due. I don't know about after that. I think they're due to die after that. But Dillingham, it's hard to bet against him, man. He's so likable as a coach. The guys are behind him. He can lead those guys run through a brick wall for him. So when you have that factor, plus a hard nosed runner like Skatibo, you never know what could happen. You never know what could happen when a playoff game it starts to slow down. But like you said, it's the two strengths are going to be going head to head here with run stopping and and running. So, uh, Are you taking Texas here? You taking Texas?
Oh yeah, I think my bracket from last week is going to end up being 100%. I'm actually feeling that. I think I'm gonna get a
Okay.
perfect bracket. I think I'm gonna get a perfect bracket first year.
Okay. I mean, hey, I'm actually rooting for you. We're gonna see here. Now, I'm gonna tell you, man, I would not be surprised if Arizona State wins this game. I'm not very surprised that they lose by 7-10. So it's a hard one. Neutral site. I think where the holidays are coming out. We're in holiday season, New Year, turn over a new leaf. But I don't think they're going to be trying to turn over a new leaf. I think Arizona State's going to be trying doing the same thing they've done all year, and they're going to try to roll it over. Um,
Yeah, this game's on the first. Okay, yeah, it's on the
yep,
first.
Yep, on the first, turning over a new leaf, and I'm gonna go ahead with Arizona State in the upset. Give me Arizona State with the upset. I wholeheartedly believe that. That's not just something I'm just saying. I believe it. So give me Arizona State. Give me Dillingham, and we're rocking and rolling with the Sun Devils. I might put a little scratch on it. Little yeah.
I respect your decision, but man, Sam Levitt's. I don't think he's good enough to win a playoff game. But we'll see if he
He's
proves me wrong.
enough.
Redshirt.
He's good enough.
He's
He's
only a
good enough.
redshirt freshman. I think they expose him a little bit without his number one receiver. They cover up his guys. You don't have nowhere to go, and they shut the run
Next
down.
guy up mentality. Next guy up mentality.
Xavier Guillory, Marcon Soval, not moving the needle against Jedi Barron, man. I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay. I mean, this is all respectable. I'm not surprised if they come out and lose, but I'm rooting for them, and I do think we're going to see an upset happen here. We're
I
going to
mean,
see an upset
if
happen.
Texas loses, that
It's
means I
not going to
don't
be
think.
all chalk. It was all chalk this last week. It's not just going to be a chalkboard run. hippity skippity all the way. It's just not. I'm taking the upset. There's got to be one, and this is going to be this is it. So give me the Sun Devils. That's our first year. We'll go ahead and pick against, and man, we'll see if they can get it done. So, all right, we got Notre Dame versus the injured, the hobbled Georgia Bulldogs. Can Kirby lead this team? And this might be the most impressive coaching job if he can pull it off. But what do you think here?
Notre Dame's
Give it to me.
defense
What do you
is
think?
Notre Dame's defense is going to rule the day. I think, man.
Okay.
Stockton, he was looked good with his legs, but man, he was struggling throwing the ball. Last game when he came in the second half, he didn't really make any great throws. He was like 12 for something. He was like 12 for 19, but he 70 yards and a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got smack too, bro. He don't know how to slide for sure. He got split up twice.
dude, it's yeah, I know.
That was one of the
I
biggest hits I've
know.
ever seen for a guy not to have a concussion. Everybody I was with didn't believe me when I said, "Dude, he's fine. I could tell you don't have a concussion." Nobody believed me. I said, "Nah, he's done." I said, "No, I swear he's good." I don't know how, but shout out to that. But man, Notre Dame's defense is such good on all three levels. They got the best defense player in the country, I think, Xavier Watts.
Ooh.
You know about him, bro?
Okay. I know I've seen some things, about him, but no, I've never seen that take on him. I know a lot of people like the Marshall linebacker as being one of the top defensive guys in the nation, as well as some of the younger guys. I mean, a lot of these guys are in love with these underclassmen as P up player of the years and non-senior guys. So
Listen, in my defense, Watts won the Gursky last year.
okay,
Then he came back. So
back to
how's
back.
he?
Did he win it this
How's
year?
he not the best? How's he not the best defensive player in the country? If
Did
he
he
was
win it
last
this year?
year and he came back, he had 7 picks last year. And this year, but he was better. Everybody said, every article I've read and stuff said he's been
Yeah.
better this year, though. So, it's hard to win back to back, but he's
Yeah.
going to be All
No,
American. He's going to be All
I
American
feel
again.
you, man. I think opportunity is going to knock. Are you going to answer the door? That's what we're really going to see here with Notre Dame against the big dogs, man.
Yeah, 6 picks this year.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Notre Dame, they've had some very sneaky defensive guys, throughout the years. Didn't they have Jalen Smith?
Oh yeah, Jalen Smith. Yeah, they had Jalen Smith. Yeah, they got a lot of good players this year, though, man. Howard Cross at D tackle,
They got Brian Urlacher's kid too.
Riley Mills at D tackle. Their D line is just so physical, and Georgia's run game hasn't been that great this year. ETN's had a couple of games where he scored 2 touchdowns, but
Yeah.
he's running for 90 yards or 80 yards, not 100. It's hard for them to get a 100-yard rusher. ETN only had 559 this whole season. They only average about 5 yards a carry, which for a top 10 team, that's actually not that good. Notre Dame averages like 6.5 yards a carry this year.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I really wish Penn State and Notre Dame was on opposite sides so they can meet up, man. I mean, I
Well, I still don't think
usually don't like that brand of ball, but I love it this year.
I still don't think either one of them is going to beat Oregon, but that's just my opinion, of course.
No, yeah, I feel it. I mean, it's not a hot take. I feel it.
But man, their defense is so good. Jack Kaiser, linebacker, I talked about him before, and their defense played
Yeah.
so good this week. Their defense played good. I mean, it was like I said, it was 27-3. It was 27.
This is my favorite. No, like I said, we've been on record. This is our favorite Notre Dame and Penn State team probably ever. I mean, these guys are balling, and you can't deny it. They've always used their tight ends well. They've always used those bunch formations kind of well, but when you got good quarterback play, man, it makes it work.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't have a good quarterback. You're like, what are they doing out there?
they almost had 400 yards this game. And that should be. I think if they have that many yards again, they'll definitely beat Georgia.
Upset alert, man! Upset alert for the Irish this week. Upset alert.
You think? I don't even know if it's an upset.
Might not
Georgia's
be,
favorite.
man.
Georgia's favorite
Carson,
by 1.5. Okay.
by what? By what? 1.5 or 4.5?
Technically, it's an upset, but a really small one. Only 1.5.
Oh, it's pretty much a pick 'em.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not a huge upset at all, but
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Notre Dame, man. So that could be technically 2 upsets if Arizona State and Notre Dame here. So who you got? If you got to go ahead and get our picks locked in before the new year, who you got? Notre Dame, Georgia, man. Is Kirby going to get it done?
yeah, last week I filled out the bracket. I had Notre Dame advancing, and they didn't show me nothing to change my opinion on that. They played good
Yeah.
football. Their defense is good, man. They're not going to give up more than 31 points. Like I don't think they're going to give up more than 31 points.
Okay. No,
All
like
year.
it.
So if their offense can score 31, they'll win the championship.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I like Notre Dame here. I like Notre Dame. Even with Carson Beck, they have a great shot here. Like you said, almost 400 yards in a playoff game. I know it's against the little brother in the in-state, Indiana, but man, I wouldn't be surprised here. I mean, go ahead and get Notre Dame. I think Kirby has done a pretty good job coaching, honestly, because Carson Beck's streaky. He's had some good games. He's won a Player of the Week before of ours. But when he doesn't have him this game, so we're going to see if he can get it done with the old Stockton.
The
But
most
I don't
points
think it's.
Notre Dame
Go
gave
ahead.
up all year. They gave up 35 to USC, but they threw like 3 picks too. So you give up
Yeah,
35 points, but they had 2 pick sixes. So if you give up 35
yeah.
points and you
Good
score
field
14,
position.
if you give up 35 and you score 14, you really gave up 21.
Yeah,
And that's how it works
yeah,
as a defensive player. Like that's your mindset.
yeah.
If you get a pick six, it takes 7 off the board you gave up.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah, and like I said, that's why another reason why I'm picking them, man. I think they're hobbled, they're injured, and even if they were healthy, I might even pick Notre Dame. So go ahead and give me Notre Dame. Give me the Irish facing off here, and then which leads us to our last matchup, Dalton, which is Boise State versus the Nittany Lions. I already know who you're going with. I remember your pick, but for the people who weren't tuning in last week, who we got here and why we got them.
Nittany Lions defense, not even just defense. How about talent? Just talent.
This
They got
talent.
talent. They got talent on offense too. I mean, Drew Aller, Drew Aller, two great running backs.
He's
Like
good, man. He's good.
the best tight end in the country, probably the best offensive weapon in the country.
Just overall weapon. They put
Total
him in the
weapon.
backfield. He's in the motion. He can do a little blocking. He can run verticals.
Oh
He
my
can run a
god,
post. He can run
great
an
blocker,
out. He's
great
good,
blocker. I
man.
seen one of the plays. One of the plays Saturday, he drove a guy through the end zone, bro. Like he's a dog. I love him. He's one of my. If I could trade for a player, it would be him. Like in the country, I wouldn't have took Travis
Ooh,
Hunter just because I'm biased. Though I mean, I'd probably take Travis Hunter because he plays both ways. But I love Tyler Warren, man.
yeah. No,
Fair
like I
player to
said, yeah.
watch.
Tyler, you kind of put me on to Tyler Warren. I'm glad you did, and man, he's kind of showcased everyone and the rest of the nations pretty much since the beginning of the season.
If you finish
Why
top,
he's the best tight end.
if you finish top 10, the Heisman is a tight end. That's crazy.
Yeah, he did. He did. He did.
I mean, he finished ahead
Yep.
of Shador. I mean, come on.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
He
yeah.
finished
Shador
seventh.
got
Shador
8.
finished eighth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shador got 8th. Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been had a great year. Like I said, man, I really do like this team, and I'll be rooting for him.
How many
Go
yards?
ahead and I'll
Let me ask that.
Genty. How many he's gonna have on this
How many
game?
yards you gonna have, bro?
I'll say about 160.
160.
160 yards for Ashton Genty against the Nittany Lions. Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
like that
that's what I'm
prediction.
thinking.
I think, unfortunately, well, this is actually a bold prediction. This is
Okay,
bold. He gets held to under
okay.
100.
He gets held under 100 in his last game as a collegiate athlete. Ooh,
Bold prediction.
that is a bold prediction. That is a bold prediction. We're gonna
I love
see.
him. I don't think it's his fault either. But their defense is so damn good, man. It's one of the best in the country. Just like Notre Dame, their defense they're so good.
Yeah, there's
I don't know.
this Penn State and
Abdul
Notre Dame
Carter.
defense
You
so
seen
much.
DeLuca get 2 picks this week. Tony Rojas had a pick. So the linebackers had 3 picks. It wasn't even the DBs, man. So that says a lot. When you get 3 picks and none by DBs, that's
Yeah,
impressive. I
yeah,
like their defense. They're just gonna. I think they're gonna play from ahead the whole game, and Boise's gonna be trying to run it in the first and second downs, and they're just gonna be obvious passing downs. I just don't think the receivers are good enough to beat Penn State. Like out on the outside, so you got think you can load 8 in the box, however many. I think the best strategy for Boise would be to go 4 wide. Really space the defense out so you can't put 8 in the box.
yeah,
What do you think about that
yeah.
strategy? I
Just
mean, I
keep them
think they should
guessing.
go 4 wide,
Keep them guessing.
maybe
Have
stack
some
them even.
guys. I think they should have some guys in motion. I think you should turn Ashton Genty into a little bit of Aaron Jones this game and have him catching out the backfield, give him a little bit of a running head start. I
Did
would
that a
say
lot
maybe
last
do
year.
some. Yeah, I would say do a little bit of that, get them involved in the passing game, and keep them on their toes. And then if your Sears look up in the scoreboard and you're halfway through the third quarter and you're in the game, start just running it. Just hop on Ashton Genty's back and hopefully he can lead you to one.
Yeah, I just running back's the position. It takes a lot of help to be good. It don't if you're getting hit
Hell
in the
yeah.
backfield every time. It don't matter if you're the best
Hell
running back ever,
yeah.
ever, ever.
so much stuff up front. Just with someone who played up front, man. So much shit has to go right for a run play to. If you're running power, if you're pulling, if you gotta get a guy up second level, it's so much stuff has to go right to spring a run. And man, he's proved it time and time again. But we'll see if he can do it against a like you said, a stout defense with Nittany Lions. They're stout, they're sound. They've struggled with having the athletes in the past, but they got the athletes now, and they've always been a tough team. So, man, it's going to be a great game, arguably the game of the week. I might
You
have
think
to.
so?
It might be, man. I think it might be. As looking at this here, I mean,
I don't think it's got. I think it's another blowout like last week. Penn State's going to be dominant 2 weeks in a row.
wouldn't be surprised, man. I
That's
really
what
wouldn't. They're playing
that's
so damn
what I'm
good.
thinking. I think they're dominant
I would.
again.
I would not be surprised, brother. I really wouldn't, man. If they're playing good, I really wish they was on the opposite sides of the freaking bracket. But we'll see. Oregon and Ohio State is going to be good. It could potentially get bad, honestly. I
You
don't
trust
know.
Maddox Stetson? Do you trust
Do
that
I
guy?
trust them to win them the game? No. Do I trust them to lose the game? No. This game is on Ashton Genty, man. And he's going to make
On the O-line,
Madsen's day.
really.
Yeah, exactly. The O line, man. We're gonna see if they can do it up front against Penn State. Give me Penn State though. I want to ride with you on that and get you on get
If
Penn
he
State.
gets holes, he doesn't miss them. So yeah, if their O-line plays good, my prediction will look stupid. He could go for 200. I could look dumb as hell. He could go double 100. I mean, he has
Under
that.
100 is crazy. Under
I'm
100 is
just
crazy.
feeling it, bro. Like I'm feeling it. Most players have one bad game a year. He hasn't had one.
I know.
Even Shadur had a bad game this year, against Nebraska.
Yeah,
Terrible. Started off bad early, threw a terrible out route early. He never came back from it. Dylan Gabriel had a bad game earlier against Boise State. They wouldn't have won if they wasn't for the special teams, like I said earlier. So every good player has a bad game. He hasn't had one yet. So
yeah.
Travis Hunter's was because of injury, but still it counts. He had a bad game stat wise because he got hurt like first quarter. So you know what I mean. Most players a bad game. He hasn't had one yet. You're just probably. I just think he's due.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I think it's on his shoulders. And like you said, the offensive line up front, we're going to see what they can do against this Penn State team. So you have as Dalton's picks here. Let's go ahead and do a quick run through. You have Notre Dame, Penn State, Texas, and Oregon in the Final Four, right? The first 12-team playoff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I like it. I think it's a good pick, man. I really like it. I think this next week here is going to make up for these blowouts we had for the first week. I'm hoping for it. We're really going to get into as Nacho would say, the nitty gritty.
Yeah,
We're getting into the nitty gritty of it. This is it, man. It's we've been a blast of covering it here with you, man, all year, and got the last couple weeks before we get into our NFL and
Penn State.
basketball
We'll,
stuff.
def- we'll definitely start covering NFL playoffs. Yeah, do some playoff
Oh
preview
yeah,
after because we don't have much to do college football wise. So after the playoffs, then we'll do heavy in basketball. So
can't
yeah,
wait.
we're always gonna have something going on. That's good. That's why sports are the
Can't
best.
wait.
There's always something going on.
Yeah, yep, I know. I think it's going to be a good holiday season here. I think we're going to get some good games to start out the year as well. So this will be our last one before Christmas. So any last words before we go, man?
I just hope everybody has a great holiday season, man. It's all very important. I think if you don't have nobody, that's terrible. So I hope you have somebody, man. If not, you can call me.
Call Gent, reach out to us, Home Squad Sports, man.
You can come to my.
You
You can
know,
come to our Christmas if you need somebody, man. Like if you're in Louisville area and you don't have nobody, let me know and we'll treat you like family.
I swear, yeah, I'm a testament to it, man. Gent's family have treated me like their own, since we've known each other since we were 14. So,
Yeah,
yeah, man, hope everyone has happy holidays. We got some good football coming up. We got bowl games here left and right. Got basketball, whatever sport you like. There's plenty of it around. And more importantly, everyone, there's family around. So spend it with them, eat good, sleep good. Anyone that's off work here. So I got to work a little half day tomorrow, but it's all good, man. But before we head out of here, from me and Dalton from Home Squad, Merry Christmas, and we will see y'all top of the year, man.
yeah. Y'all have a good one.
See ya. Peace.